Chernobyl exclusion zone is a big piece of land with an area of 2,600 square kilometers. It's like the size of Luxembourg, imagine.
Wow. Huge.
And it is mainly divided into two parts. The 30-kilometer exclusion zone where we are right now and the 10-kilometer exclusion zone. The 30-kilometer exclusion zone includes the town of Chernobyl and some villages around it. And as of 2019, it is 90% clean. I mean, it's safe for the people to live in. And this is why Chernobyl town is now a worker town. So at least 2,000 workers are now living in the town of Chernobyl on a shift basis, which means for 15 days they stay in Chernobyl and work at their stations of duty, and they live in dorms, and then they go back for 15 days to their families, to their cities, and a new shift comes. So it's like that. And this shift is only for the workers, like field workers. We're talking about police officer, guards, dosimetrists, engineers, firemen, lab workers, chefs at the canteen. So you can say staff of the exclusion zone. They live on a shift that is 15 days in the zone, 15 days out of the zone. And you have the office workers of different departments and institutions in Chernobyl. They live on a different shift. So 4 days a week inside the zone and 3 days outside the zone. Alright? So we will cross the town of Chernobyl now, but we will not make a stop there because we will come back to Chernobyl after lunch. Because, well, let's say Chernobyl is the least interesting location during our tour today, because, well, it's not abandoned. Yeah, in a sense that you imagine, it's not abandoned. It's a perfectly functioning workers' town, so there's nothing to see. There's not much to see, to be precise. So our tour is divided into 4 main locations today. Chernobyl nuclear power plant, the abandoned city, the ghost city of Pripyat, the secret town Chernobyl 2, including the radar station, and we will finish our tour with the visit of the town of Chernobyl. So 3 of those locations are in the 10-kilometer exclusion zone, ironically speaking, because right now the 10-kilometer exclusion zone is the dirtiest, the most contaminated area in Ukraine. The area is practically drenched with radioactive materials, and this is all because some radioactive elements from the transuranium group, elements like americium, plutonium and uranium, have a half-life span, a decay span of a couple of thousand years. So basically this area, 10-kilometer exclusion zone, is going to be contaminated and not suitable for the people to live in for the next couple of thousand of years. So we can probably say that it's never going to be habitable again, at least in our lifetime. And like I said, we're going to spend that 90% of our time because the most interesting locations are in that zone. So 2/3 of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, the big one, the big piece of land, is now a natural reserve for wildlife, including wild animals and vegetation. So this area is filled with animals like foxes, wolves, lynxes, deers, elks, mooses, rabbits, squirrels, wild boars, lots of fish, a couple of bears, and yeah, actually in the zone they captured an image of 2 bears. Nobody has seen them with their own eyes yet, but a photo camera deep inside the woods captured an image of 2 bears. wild horses. Pripyat wild horses are an endangered species, and there aren't many of them in the wild right now because, well, they're dying. And in 1996, the government made an experiment. They brought 18 wild horses from another natural reserve, Askania Nova. They brought 18 Pripyat wild horses to this area to see if they could adapt to these conditions, if they could eat radioactive grass, if they could populate. So, 18 horses in 96. As of 2019, there are 200, at least 200 horses in the area. And these horses, like I said, it's a threatened species, and this area is not their natural habitat. They live in steppes, they live in Kazakhstan and Mongolia. This is their natural habitat. So the Chernobyl area is not perfectly suitable for them to live in. But as you can see from what I tell you, there are 200 wild horses now. They adapted perfectly. They started eating radioactive grass and populate. Their bodies adapted and mutated and started to produce more antioxidants to fight the radioactive elements that would kill them. So basically they're very happy now. So you can say that the Chernobyl Natural Reserve is one of the richest ecosystems in Ukraine. And that is because this area is highly protected, while other areas in Ukraine, they suffer, the woods and the wildlife is suffering from poachers, from illegal hunters and illegal fishermen. But here in this area, illegal hunting and fishing occurs, well, rarely compared to other regions of Ukraine. So my friends, our first stop will be at the panoramic site of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It's a great spot to see all the reactors, and it's a great spot for photos. So enjoy the view of the Chernobyl Natural Reserve. If you have any questions,